Now we better get started on our letters and get these moved in because we spent more time on this project than we thought we were. So here we go. We're going to move over to letters so that they're on a different layer, and we're just going to protect these lines for now so that we can't mess them up in any way. And same with the guidelines. I should protect those as well. And so here we go. We're going to find this letter, which I believe we're going to start with, what do we have? G, capital G. Letters are the wrong color. So let's see what's going on. We'll change that letter. Let's go back. That's a G. And then we're going to have capital GK. And we're going to have M. So we're going to start with the G first, of course, because G will always give us, we got to find the size and everything and the font. So that font kind of looks like it could be, let's take a look and see what it is. We're going to move this over to the side a little bit because when we open this up, it will allow us to see what we're working with. So that way, if we scroll down, you see how it changes the G? I love it. So I think that font kind of looks like one of the ones I use a lot, which is this one. And then we can go up with the size. It's somewhere around here. Not quite. And what's nice is we can go ahead and just drag this and stretch it up if we want. Or down. Or we get close. We can just go ahead and type in our own size up here if we want to. Let's say 56.7. That's pretty close. However, you notice that the letters are a little thinner. So we're going to go ahead and bring the K over. And we're going to bring the M over. And we're going to go ahead and make that the font that matches. And we're just going to go ahead and drag it up to the size that's fairly close. No, it's just a little thin. We're going to thicken it out to make sure. We're going to do the same with this one. We're going to thicken it out just to make sure that it matches the fonts that we have. Nice, bold, thick letters. And what's nice, I have my enter. When I want to move something, I have it set to very low. And so when I have an object, it's going to move by 0.1 millimeter. That's a very small movement. And you can adjust that at will up here if you want. So I'm going to just move it over just a little bit, just to make sure it's in the middle. And let's just say 63 on this and see what happens. And what is this? Let's say 60 on this one. You can type it in directly as well. Well, let's see what happens if we put 63 on this one as well. It's closer. We can inch it in. Have a little white background. And this one is, what happens if we go to 60 on this one? We'll just inch it over by using the arrows. And what happens if we go 63? We're using the arrows, they go left and right. That gets pretty close. So we made these letters 63 and we picked the font that works with them. And so now we're going black right now because it's easier to see. And we can always change the color of these fonts over here by just clicking on any of these over here. But before we do that, we're going to before we can really manipulate these fonts, we have to break them apart as well because they are different. They're not like the regular objects that we use. So we have to go up to Arrange, and with fonts, let me select one. Let me unselect it, reselect it. We actually have to go and convert it to curves. So we'll convert all three to curves at one time. If we just select them 3 of the range and convert to curves or Control Q. Now we can manipulate them in a way that is going to work for us. Now I'm going to select this G, and I'm going to go down to Contour. I'm going to select it, and it's going to let me, I can contour the outside of it, the inside of it, or all the way to the center. Well, we're going to work with the outside of it, and I'm going to click outside, and you see that gray part around it? That is this color over here, or it's really a white. It goes from black to white, so there's a gray in between, and that kind of thickens our letter up for us. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn that to black for now, so we have a nice solid black color. And I'm thinking, okay, I can work with that. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to contour it outside. You have to click it once, and it's just strictly black right now. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to contour it. It's going out 0.1 millimeter, and it's stepping out 6 times. I probably could step. You can go as many times as you want, but we went 6 times. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to go ahead and click this outside, and click the select button. Oh no, I have to click, sorry, contour button, and I'm going to click outside, and it goes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I go less than that, it gets a little smaller. If I go more than that, it'll get bigger and bigger until it's big as I want to make it. And those could all be different colors if you want them to be. Corel is wonderful. So I'm going to go back to 6 like with the other ones. And so now we have our letters in place. And that's good as well. Gee, it's gonna be just fine once we get it where we want it. So now we have our letters. As you can see up here, it's got the curve and the contour added to it. And so let's go ahead and hide the letters because we're finished with the letters for now. We'll come back to those later. And oops, that's the guidelines. Here goes the letters right here. And hide those. And I'm gonna go ahead and hide for now. I'm gonna hide the logo. So this is what we have so far. Now what we're gonna do is we gotta get our tire in order. So we're gonna go ahead and select the tire. Where are we? I have my lines set so that I can't select them, so I'm gonna allow myself to be able to select them. And I'm gonna select all of this. And I'm going to hold shift because I don't want any of these to be affected. Okay? Or I could have just, so I mainly wanted all my boxes here and this line to be affected, and that was it. And so you see no little, you can tell what's selected by these little boxes right here. And so this line and all these are selected, nothing else. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do a weld. If I weld all these together, which is over here, then it allows me to get the outside of the weld. I'm saying, oh, that's looking pretty good. I can work with that. And so I'm going to keep that. And now I'm going to look at the logo. And now now that I have that welded, I can take part of this now. I can bring this in here. Now you see how that bent, because that obviously it's not a it is a cusp, but I need to bend it straight to match my lines. And then I'll take this, I'll bring it right here, straighten it to match my lines as well. And I'll have to do the same over here, except I'm going to take this and I'm going to match, of course, our design just a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this down here, and I'm going to of course make that a cusp because we want a nice straight curve on that. And actually we want it right here. I want to straighten this out first. Bring this out. I can get rid of that altogether, really. Then I want this line right here that intersects. I'm going to straighten that up. And so I have my line just dangling around, so I'm going to take this line and I'm going to incorporate it over here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I have my snaps turned off, so I'm going to turn them back on. Snap to object. That helps me see how that says gnaw. It lets you know that you are snapped into it. It's intersected. And so I'm going to take my lines, and what is this? I'm going to make this a cusp, if it's not already one. No. Then I'm going to bend this around where it's supposed to be. I'm going to bring this over here where it should be. Do the same with this. Get rid of that. And get my line under control a little bit. Because it's just unruly. Oh, I don't need this either. And make sure this is a cusp. Now I can get that nice angle that I want. I can bring this right where I want it to be. And same over here. I have this line that's just out of control. We have something here that we don't need, so I got rid of that. I'm going to bend that into place. We have another nodule here. I'm going to take control of my little piece again. And you have to get rid of these. Sometimes these arrows, when they're way out here, they just give your lines way too much activity that you don't need. And so now what we're able to do is we're going to take that line that we merged all these together and we brought it around, and here's a little area. I'm not too crazy about this. I'm going to snap that into shape. And so what we have, I'm going to hide the logo. Now you can see we actually have the outer wheel ready to go. It's pretty much, if you really want to get in tune to the nice circle that we have, you can add a nodule here and just bring it in. And just bring it in. This way, we know we have a nice wheel going. Now we're ready for the wheel. So now if we want to, we have some letters up here. Oops, up here. And now we need to add our lettering in here. And then we'll be fine. So let's turn our logo back on. It's GRUDZAIADZ. So in order to get that, we're going to hide the logo once again. We're going to come in with our tool, and when you hit the line, it'll let you know what you can do. There's edge, and then if you see that line with the A in it, that means you're on the line, and if you click it, it'll follow that line. And so I'm thinking we're going to go with the font that looks like it's Impact. Go with Impact, and the size of it looks like it was about 16. And so the lettering was GRUDZ. IADZ. This is a very different name. And what you can see is it's typed in, but it's going in the wrong direction. And it seems to be upside down. However, we have the ability to manipulate that. We could switch it around. We could turn it upside down. And then we could lower how it falls into place up here. And then it's still kind of close together. If you look at the logo, you can see, oops, let's go back. If you go back to the logo, you can see it's kind of close together. So we're going to go back. We have this selected. We can go to the shape tool, and with these you can spread it just a little bit, not too much.